So Kevin Durant just did what Kevin Durant does, and that is get into random arguments with fans online. Now, usually it's just him having fun and rage baiting a bunch of his haters. But this time, it went a little bit more viral because it looks like he says that on paper, the new LeBron 76ers are similarly talented to, you guessed it, the 2017 Warriors. And also that LeBron fans are just mad because they think that he stole 2 rings from him, which is true. And that's coming from a LeBron fan. So yeah, let's get into it. Now first, I do try to be fair when I see these things, especially because there's no context given at all. So I did my due diligence and was able to find the video that he responded to. But that itself was first a response to this clip where he answered a reporter that asked him if the 76ers were contenders.
You feel like they're contenders?
For sure. I mean, you don't think so?
No, I'm just asking you.
Last time they put 3 20-point scores on the team, they said it was unfair, which is the team I was on. Yeah. They got 4 25-point scores on this team. So hell yeah, I think they're going to be a contender, man. They're going to be a great team to watch.
Now, as you can see, he doesn't really say anything like too crazy. My initial reading was that he thought it was a silly question because of how stacked on paper the 76ers were. And that if they thought the 2017 Warriors were a shoo-in for a title back then this team is obviously at the very least contenders, which I don't think a lot of people would disagree with, right? Like, teams with this much talent are pretty much guaranteed to be a real threat, even if they don't ultimately win it all. But a lot of people, like this podcaster Tev's Takes, interpreted KD's response as saying that the 2 situations were similar, so therefore the expectations should also be the same. And obviously that would be an insane take. So I definitely get the criticism he's been getting online. But it's also just straight up not what KD said at all. And he does go on to say as much in the comments, but of course none of that got reported because, hey, we're in the off season and we need a little bit of controversy. Though there was one part that I thought KD got very wrong. And it's in this comment specifically when he responds to the podcaster's take on the talent levels not being close at all. And KD disagrees by saying Joel was a recent MVP, Jaylen Brown was a recent finals MVP, Tyrese Maxey is a 3-time All-Star, and LeBron is LeBron. Which is all true, except, well, Tyrese Maxey has only been an All-Star twice. But then he compares it to the 2017 Warriors, where he said that he only had Klay Thompson, the MVP of nothing. Seems a little personal, but yeah, he minimized him to just 22 points per game. And then Draymond Green, who averaged 14, 7, and 6. And Steph Curry, who he said was pretty much the same as Joel, because they were both MVPs. Yeah, you conveniently left a lot of details out there, KD, with the biggest one being you. You were on the team too. But yeah, I want to be fair here because his whole argument is that on paper, they're similar. So I went and used all the things he brought up specifically, which is MVPs, finals MVPs, all-star appearances, and also their stats, points, rebounds, and assists. At this time, right before the 2017 Warriors became a thing, these 4 had 3 MVPs, 0 final MVPs, 13 all-star appearances, and combined for an average of 94.4 points per game, 26.9 rebounds, and 21.2 assists. And honestly, for a team that's destined to become the best team that has probably ever existed, these numbers honestly weren't too crazy. As for the Philadelphia 76ers, they have a total of 5 MVPs, 5 finals MVPs, 36 all-star appearances, and combined for an average of 104.8 points a game, 24.8 rebounds, and 22.8 assists per game. So yeah, the 76ers got the 2017 Warriors beat on MVPs, final MVPs, all-star appearances, and every single stat except for rebounds. So as it turns out, strictly on Kevin Durant's version of a resume, the 76ers are actually better than the 2017 Warriors on paper. Well, kinda. Because if you didn't notice, LeBron accounts for most of these victories. I mean, by himself, he had more MVPs, finals MVPs, and all-star appearances than all of the 2017 Warriors combined. So this isn't really a fair comparison. Now, that doesn't take away from what Durant said. He's still right that this team is immensely talented and is at least comparable to the 17 Warriors, so they should obviously be contenders. But does that mean it was fair for him to bring up the 17 Warriors as an example? Not at all. And this is why. He specifically brings up that when he joined the Warriors and they had 3 20-point scorers, people complained that it was unfair. But we all know that simply having a bunch of players who average 20 plus has never been the main reason a team wins the championship. And the funny thing is, Kevin Durant himself knows this to be true. I mean, his last 2 teams before the Rockets both had 3 players averaging over 25 a game, and neither team even made the finals, let alone won one. And you also never heard a single soul complaining that any of these other teams were too stacked, because guess what? Points per game wasn't the reason that people complained that you joining the Warriors was unfair. It was because you, a top 3 player in his prime, joined the second best player in his prime after they had just won a championship, and after going 73-9 the season before, was just 1 game away from repeating. And what you did was help them replace their worst player in Harrison Barnes with you, Kevin Durant. That's why people were complaining that it was unfair, not because you, Steph, and Clay were averaging over 20 points a game. Now, do I think that KD thinks that this 76ers team with a 41-year-old LeBron James is as unfair as that monster of a Warriors team? No, I don't think he believes that at all. But there's no doubt in my head that he still feels that the criticism he's received and still gets today for that decision is unfair. Otherwise, once again, he could have just brought up the Suns or even the Brooklyn Nets to make his point. But he didn't. He specifically said the Warriors. And yes, Kevin Durant, you are absolutely right. As a LeBron fan, I am still pissed, because if you didn't join the Warriors, the Cavaliers might have three-peated. And if LeBron James had 6 rings today, there would be no doubt about who the greatest of all time is. But that is a conversation for another day.